Hi. And welcome to my stream today, where I am playing some Girls Online 2. Specifically, the Escape from Cybord event. I have been messaged by someone. God damn it, Retro. God fucking damn it, Retro. Retro just messaged me whether or not I fell asleep again. No, not today. Have to disappoint you, buddy. I am wide awake. And I'm just putting my links where they're supposed to be. I've just been reminded that I need to show something to someone by myself. Yeah. God damn it, Retro. I guess I at least haven't really started my stream properly yet. How are you doing? Dickhead. You absolute dick. No face, big thighs. I suppose. How does it feel to look at my thighs? And my tail, to be fair. Pretty good. I'm leaning on the meh side. Like, not meh for the thighs. I feel meh. Honestly, same. I have also gone and called off the weekend. I just need some actual rest, man. It's been a lot of things going on over the past 2 or 3 weeks, and I'm just tired. So, yeah. Yippee. These horses. Now, we have to wait until the thighs disappear. Otherwise, I can't really start the event. Oh, that bothers me. Oh, that bothers me. Oh, I haven't seen that. Oh, no. I can show you that once the thighs disappear. But that's fucking. That's just so wrong. That's the wrong scale. Hmm. Photograph, no cyborgs. What's next? Yes. Ah, there we go. My face, it's back. How are you doing, Ask? So, I had not had the time to take a deeper look at this art. However, I just realized that this gun is in the wrong scale. Parts of it seem scaled correctly, and parts of it are definitely not. Why do I say this? Very simple. One second. That's the gun. Now, the problem that I have with it is right here. I can tell you from experience, from having held this thing, from having one, this is as big as a hand, and not twice or 3 times as big as a hand. And the trigger guard itself is not as big as a hand. It just fits one finger and not more. Don't worry about it. It's a gigantic gun. Anyway, we go to the story. I'm pretty sure this one's a little shorter than the last one, so you might actually get through this entire thing in 2 hours. And I might even make enough resources to get another 10 pull out of it. Right, I actually need to... Everything has been overturned. The cycle is set to repeat. Offer a piece of your soul, and you shall be a player on the chaotic, absurd stage. Oh, okay. You know, it's Vivi's event. Let's build the team around Vivi for this event. For now. Where's status? That also means that we won't absolutely just one-hit kill everything, mostly. Except that my VV is apparently also pretty busted. Tee. VV moment. Just set the entire world on fire. What even is this game now? It's still the same game. It's really just the fact that Vivi gets a big AoE that doesn't deal much damage, but the enemy in this map is probably like level 10 or something. 15. Stuff for Paramaniac. Exactly. You know me too well, Ask. You know me too well. Having created flames that are as tall as me, yeah. Oh, apparently they killed them all. After full Combat Team A's arrival at the Alamo, word about the loosening of the agreement naturally reaches members of Combat Team B. With Lucas' permission, 4-4 Combat Team B, being led by Vector, also successfully rendezvous with the Alamo. And just like that, Hyde 4-4, while still operating as an independent entity, will utilize the Alamo as a long-term base. Having just completed some combat simulator training, the members of Combat Team B return to the terminal. The bar on the progress monitor is at 100%, and dense rows of data and statistical charts start scrolling down. It's already 9:30 PM, I still need to do Armored Warfare dailies and gutters. Yeah, I feel that. Also, we're playing Armored Warfare on Thursday? Just as a question. Sure? Sure. Good. Victor stands at the final combat evaluation score with a slight frown. You don't look very happy despite the decent score. Candidness is the key to effective communication among teammates. So tell me, why are you dissatisfied with the score? It's not about the score. Well, you didn't follow the operation plan we agreed upon beforehand. A good plan should be flexible enough to withstand change. As a mastermind behind the plan, I am well aware of this, but since you find it necessary, I don't mind doing a full debrief and review. The original plan was to immobilize the enemies with a stun grenade after breaking through the door. Rookie? And I would then lay down suppressive fire from the front, while you and Harpsy would circle around and rescue the hostages. Yes, that's about right. You're correct, and you did your part, but your unexpected action affected the whole situation. Walrod raises an eyebrow in acknowledgement. Indeed, I decided to deviate from the plan to eliminate a certain unit. I don't know why there was chandelier in the lab, but I bet the interior designer who put it there would be glad to know that the fancy light fixture was the key to her victory. If there were designers on level 2, that is. Has it occurred to you that that actively altering the environment could put us at a disadvantage? I think you should make it clear what exactly you're getting at to avoid any misunderstanding. In other words, scattering glass everywhere wasn't exactly conducive to our subsequent actions or withdrawal. Welcome back, Retro. Shards of broken glass do no damage to door frames. Yes, but they do harm the hostages. Pardon? We're just confused for a moment. We have no medical doors on our team. If a hostage gets injured and infected under such circumstances, we wouldn't be able to fully complete our mission. You seem to have overlooked a very important detail. Our hostages were simulated. I am actually entirely with Vector here. Because, yeah, the hostages might be simulated, but the simulation is to train for the real case, so you should behave as if they're not simulated. Right? How are you doing, Retro? Actually, I already asked you that. You already answered it. I am stupid. You're right. But when we're in the real world, our standpoints would be completely reversed. If we don't consider the hostages, we would be the ones who'd end up in a recycling plant. Though I suppose the pain wouldn't last long. No matter how many points we score on level 2, we would just be Teetles whose lives are ruined by video games. To be fair, that would be quite fitting for me. Yeah, I've already heard that Vector is still as gloomy and depressive as in GFL 1. Also, you really should have notified us before making such a drastic move. If you look at the replay, Richie clearly wasn't aware of your intentions, and so she couldn't coordinate with you despite being right next to you. Even if we suck, we should all suck together. The battlefield is ever changing. Opportunities wait for no one. Surely you know that as well. You can't deny that you can't deny the fact that by dropping the chandelier on the enemies, I greatly reduced the threat they posed as well as the time it took to mount the rescue, thus increasing the hostages' chance of survival. Even if in the real world, loitering at the scene would be more dangerous for the hostages than getting cut by shards of glass. But if the chandelier had been rigged with a bomb or grenade, things would have turned out very differently. So what do you want me to do? Apologize for something that didn't happen but could have happened in your pathetic delusional paranoia? Focus on the results, Vector, like a normal doll would. Sensing the tension in the air, Harpsy wrings her hands nervously. Richie looks back and forth between their teammates and is just about to say something. A knock on the glass interrupts the confrontation. The dolls all look towards the sound. Commander. The door slides open with a soft whoosh. I retract my gaze from the screen in the training room and direct my attention to Vector, who's jogged up to me. What is it, Commander? Are you here to supervise our training? No, I came to talk to you. Bill, isn't the score a bit low for you guys? Following my gaze, Vector glances at the data shown on the screen through the glass. Yeah, I didn't handle the problem very well. We have different habits and ways of thinking. The adjustment process is proving a little challenging. I don't know if you've noticed, but rather than adjusting to each other, that sounded more like a full-blown argument to me. You heard it all, then. Just a part of it, but things were getting pretty heated there. The way I see it, you do work well as a team, but maybe things may go more smoothly if you communicate in some other way. Lucas said as much. She told me to find an effective way of communicating with my teammates. But arguing is also a way of communication, no? Elisa, thank you for the headpads. How are you doing? Let me just quickly do something. And thank you for the head potato. It's doing good. Maybe a bit harsh, but through some argument we can all efficiently state our own needs and deepen our understanding of each other. Besides, Walrod's cutting remarks also serve as a regular reminder that this position of leadership just fell out of the sky for me, and that I have yet to prove myself worthy of it. She still sucks at English? Ah, it's doing fine. Toxicity? Wow! Reminder that you don't need perfect English. As long as someone can understand you, everything's good. Well, Rog, the change in the way she speaks was a bit dramatic, but I'm sure she didn't mean it that way. I do wonder what she's gone through. Her tongue is much sharper than it used to be. Translate your streams to her. Still beats my constant self-pity. At least she worked on becoming more persuasive. I mean, I don't know how much needs translating. But, yeah. You see, on top of reaching an understanding, you also need to reach a consensus. You must also get to, Welrod to trust your concern and judgment if you value cooperation. But right now, both you and Welrod are still standing your ground and trying to force each other to accept your respective views. I hesitate as I gaze at Vector, who's now deep in thought. Vector was appointed as the leader of 4 Combat Team B by Klukai. It's clear to me that the biggest challenge that stands in our way of being a good team leader has nothing to do with her combat performance or battlefield awareness. The problem is with her personality and style. She fully acknowledges the problem, but that's all she does. She acknowledges it and seems perfectly content to resign herself to it. I suppose, deep down, even Vector herself doesn't believe that she's up to the task. Klukai may give her some pointers, but she isn't really the type to give any encouragement. Sorry, that might have been a bit harsh. Since you're the team leader, I'm sure you have your own way of managing your team. Right, back to the subject. Have you seen the message that Klukai sent you? Vector pulls out a communicator immediately. There's an unread message. Mechti's training plan. What? I will be out on a mission with Klukai. Andres and Belka are coming with us. Mechti's frame is still under calibration, so we'll leave her behind on the Elmo for now. However, Klukai has put together a training program for Mechti because she's worried that Mechti is going to sleep the whole time we're away and completely neglect this essential data calibration. She said you never replied to the message that she had sent you, but she's busy preparing for the mission, so I came to follow up on that for her. You want me to supervise Mechti's training? That's right. I believe Klukai would like Combat Team B to bring her along for your training as well. Don't go easy on her. Not even a 4v1 or a relay fight. 4v1 would be a bit too... I've included all the things to note and precautions to take. In any case, just make sure her head isn't always attached to a pillow. Fine. I hope Mechti won't find the fight against me too underwhelming. Vector's pessimism is a bit of a headache, but since I'm too set to depart, I'll leave it till after I come back. Basically, Klukai just wants you to take over as Mechti's leader while she's away. So don't hold back and be as strict as you want with that, Vector. I'll do my best, but only if I can even wake Mechti to get to attend the training. After returning to the training room, Vector informs the teammates of the arrangement made by the commander and Klukai. Oh, looks like a great team leader has switched their careers and become a nanny. Vector ignores Welrod, who is still hung up on the argument they were having. Let's call it a day. Submit your reports before 6. I'll read through all of them while I finish supervising Mechti's combat simulation for today. Take care, Retro. I hope it's not that. I hope it's nothing bad. Pat. TMP. Oh, Harpsy, now. Harpsy speaks up a bit timidly from a corner. What is it? Actually, may I supervise Mechti's training? Eh? You're actually volunteering for a mission, Harpsy. No, I was going to supervise Mechti's training to begin with, as a favor for Dia. Why? Because the EW tactical module she is using to debug her data was specifically developed by Dia at Kluka's request. I also participated in the development of the module. Since Dia has disembarked and returned to the safe zone, he asked me to monitor the operation of the module. An advanced tactical module. Sounds pretty interesting. Not really, it's all rather boring. So, you know, since I'm supposed to be doing it, please let me. I understand. However, since Kluka has assigned the mission to me, I must be present. Hapsi, you're staying with me. Hapsi's face freezes a little comically as she struggles to respond. Okay. I'm staying too. Huh? Why are you also staying with Walrod? I would love to see for myself what kind of advanced training Team A undergoes. Problem? No. If one results here, then it's all over. Oh. In that case, Vivi, count me in as well. I'm sure you have better things to do. I want to spend more time with you, Vivi, please. Yeah, for some reason, I forgot her gun name. Dang it. But yeah, she was also always hung up on Vector in JV1. Staring at the rookies, I expect a nice Vector lets out a sigh. Suit yourselves. Just make sure you submit your reports by 6. Make the fuse the light shove on her arm. Her auditory module, which has been inactive while in sleep mode, activates instantly. Wake up. That doesn't sound like Kluka. The shove also felt a lot less violent than usual. I guess I'll just... shady. If you don't get up this instant, I'll confiscate all the manga on the floor, you hear? No! It's an out-of-print collectible edition of Dalek's Family, signed by the manga artist. It's super expensive. Mehdi performs a spectacular kip-up from the beanbag sofa. She relaxes visibly once she sees who it is. Oh, it's you, Vector. Yeah, I invite you to appraise this beanbag sofa together with me. Spend a fortune on it. It's much comfier than the couch in the lounge. You see, the moment you lie down... As much as I want to join you, this isn't the time. Mehdi is utterly deaf to what Vector is saying, as she just flipped a switch. I really didn't want it to come to this, but according to the guy that Kluka left behind, this would be the most effective thing to do. With a helpless thigh, Vector grasps Mehdi by the arms, lifts her up and shakes her back and forth with great force. Hold on, something will come loose at this rate. Alright, I'm getting up. What the heck? You're starting to act more and more like Kluka. What happened? Aren't we supposed to be best friends of the Beanbag Club? You have 7 hours to complete today's combat simulation training. If you don't complete it in time, Kluka will be notified that your training is behind schedule. It's fine, Kluka isn't even here. I'm sure even the training conference will be postponed. Hang on. How do you know my training program? Kluka asked the commander to task me with supervising your training before she left. Mehdi is adorable. Mehdi is adorable. And my spirit animal. Or maybe Vector. One of them. Maybe both. Maybe a mix. Even though I don't really think someone like me is in a position to supervise others. Oh, come on, she actually recruited a snitch. She even kicked up such a big fuss and got the commander involved. Wait, don't tell me she's also giving you the switch that determines my fate. What switch? Oh, nothing. Come now, Vector. Don't take everything so seriously. Remember the first tenet of the Beanbag Club? Never do anything that can be put off until the last minute. 7 hours is a really long time, you see. I don't remember joining any club. Get up. Kluka didn't mention it in a message, but I'm guessing I will be held responsible if you don't complete your training in time. Seeing that she can't weasel her way out of this, Mehdi slides off her beanbag sofa reluctantly. Trying to guilt trip me now. Damn it. Kluka's becoming more and more like Lever. Oh, Mehdi. Morning. Isn't it almost afternoon? You guys and Team A sure laid back. Mehdi looks around the training room wordlessly and turns toward Vector. So just how little does Kluka trust me to have arranged such an over-the-top surveillance team for me? Maybe the two of us are just the ones she doesn't trust. Whatever. Halfsea make the preparations. Okay. Halfsea links Mehdi to the control terminal. She hesitates for a moment after entering level 2, but then proceeds to activate the module. Turn on the monitoring device and project level 2 onto the screen. Do we need to be that thorough? I believe by supervising, Kluka meant watching every single move like a hawk. What's the matter with you today, Halfsea? Why do you seem so tense? Do I? Look, Vivi, the image on the screen looks a bit strange. Prompted by Ruki's exclamation, Vector looks towards the screen. It's not showing the scene of a combat simulation. In the center of the black screen, an hourglass icon keeps rotating, and the lines of text start emerging. Constructing world framework. Formulating achievable objectives. Sowing tiny seeds of malice. A happy ending. What is this? Just then, a new image appears on the screen. The city is from a bird's eye view is deserted. It appears desolate, dilapidated. The image lurches, then starts diving downward. A black spot on the ground grows ever larger. As the camera dives, new text appears on the screen again. The once prosperous and beautiful city fell into decline under the ravages of invaders. Did Dier make a video game training simulator for her? As a guardian, it is your unavoidable duty to eliminate them. Young one, go. Create a legend. He actually fucking did. He made a legend. He made a fucking video game so Mechty can actually train. The subtitles disappear. As the camera approaches the ground, it gradually becomes clear that the black spot is in fact a doll armed with a gun. She is facing a horde of enemies that are ready to attack. Oh, that's Mechty. It's not a bad idea to gamify training. Well done, Hapsy. Mechty, what's going on? Uh-oh, it's starting. Let's talk after this game. I'm sure I could do this all with Mechty. Well, I need to win within 5 turns. That is not achievable with just Mechty, actually. Okay. I can probably win within 5 turns with just using these two. Thanks to the way that the levels are configured. I'm pretty sure I can just incinerate half the map. Good, I'm gonna leave the last one to Mechty. But after making quick work of the enemies, Mechty holds up a big V sign. At the same time, the words level up pop up on overhead. Hapsy, get her on comms. Right. Hell of an AoE. Yeah. The thing is that he usually doesn't deal that much damage, but because these enemies are very low level compared to my level 6, my max level dolls, it deals a lot of damage. Also, yeah, Bakasura, how are you doing? On the screen, Mechty jumps as she is startled by something. Then she turns around and leans in closer. Oh, so the monitoring device looks like a flying camera on level 2. It's even equipped with comms. Disguised as a familiar that follows a girl around. It's a tasteful yet classical trope. Looks like you've been reading the manga I gave you, Hapsy, so I'm guessing I'll have to enter a contract soon enough, eh? Hapsy? Very tired all the damn time. Understandable. What's this all about? Under Vector's impassive gaze, Hapsy finally stops wringing her hands and starts fiddling with the edge of her code instead. It's a plugin that introduces video game mechanics into combat simulations. The plot is generated by an advanced AI. It makes training more fun and interesting. I don't think we will find anything fun and interesting once Kluka finds out about this. I know you've been spending a lot of time on the forums for game devs lately, but this mod wasn't your idea, was it? Oh, it's my idea. I asked Hapsy to whip this up. Don't you find the training these days really dull? You just can't get fired up. But is it really a good idea to turn combat simulations into games? I've actually done my research, you know. The concept of gamification has been introduced to many jobs and businesses activities these days. Experimental results show that it significantly improves employees' enthusiasm and productivity. For the sake of full force training efficiency, I don't mind volunteering as a lab rat to test this out. Where's your proposal? Huh? Your investigation report and analysis. It's one thing that you didn't tell me, but you actually put it into practice before clearing it with Kluka. Well, if I told that tyrant right from the start, my ingenious plan would have been nipped in the bud. But Training shouldn't be a game. Vivi and I have played a video game about warfare before, but it cannot really be applied to training. Since it's for training, I'm sure Hopsy has considered the issue of applicability. To lump in with a certain dog on Team A, who only ever thinks about slacking and playing is doing a disservice. Hey, I can still hear you. I'm not questioning Hopsy's abilities, or Mehdi's. The issue here is that you shouldn't have kept us in the dark about this. Anything can happen in such an unstable operating environment. You are indeed very perceptive of potential dangers in certain situations, but don't forget, this is just a game plugin. Balls don't take any damage in virtual space. Why did you give your worst-case scenario algorithm a break? And Hopsy gradually starts to regain her composure. She peers at Victor woefully. Mordred's face appears calm, but eyes still flicker with emotion. We had this line earlier. This as well. To reach a consensus. Maybe I should yield a little? Come on now. Let's not argue. I'll tell Kluka about this later. She'll probably tell me off, but no biggie. If I don't start training, I'll get demerit for falling behind schedule. In the end, Vector lets out a soft sigh. Fine. Carry on with your training. I doubt we'll be able to contact Kluka or the commander anytime soon. Alright. But I'm also taking part. Vivi? Huh? Well, I don't mind. You gave me such an earful, but you just want to play as well, huh? No, I'm just worried you'd run into problems that you can't solve. Also, if I don't experience it myself, I won't be able to report to Kluka on its implementation. Oh, how very serious and responsible of you. Hopsy, lock me in too. Okay. I'll change it to a 2-player mode. Cool. Continue. The overgrown weeds and cracked soil beneath Vector's feet stretch all the way to the high walls surrounding the city in the distance. Using the watch-like operating devices fixed on her wrist, Vector opens the area map. Hang on. Once again, she's literally me. Watch-like operating device fixed on her wrist. That reminds me of a game. One that has been mentioned in Girls Frontline before. Take care, Shady. I was about to say enjoy, but that's not really an enjoy situation. Hope it goes well. On the map, the red cursors representing her and Mehdi are drawing closer together. Vector, over here! The wind carries Mehdi's holler. Vector studies her surroundings. Her attention is immediately drawn to a red telephone booth not far from her. She then catches sight of Mehdi, who is bouncing up and down right next to the phone booth, waving her arms around. Hair's frizzy and messy, like a bunch of weeds. Damn, Vector the Brave, are you ready to set upon this adventure with me? I think I am. No, you're not. But that's alright. Mehdi the Great Prophet will guide your way. Come, head inside. Mehdi points at the red phone booth. What's this? You'll find out when you get in. Vector's ushered into a phone booth, which looks decidedly out of place with its surroundings. Then at Mehdi's insistence, she picks up the receiver and puts it against her ear. After a soft click, a mechanical female voice comes from the other side of the line. Saving game. Do not disconnect. Saved. You're fully restored. Vector hangs up and exits the phone booth. She realizes her HP bar is full again. So it's a save point. Save points are super important. You can only level up and restore to its full health at save points. How come you jumped 3 levels in an instant? Your level is now even higher than me, the Great Prophet. I killed several units on the way. So you get more XP from farming elite mobs? It shouldn't be the case. Are you really Mehdi? Of course I am. Why do you ask? The energetic demeanor and genuine effort in problem-solving are incongruent with my neural records. I told you as much. Gaming can boost enthusiasm. If you were this enthusiastic in real life, Kluka wouldn't have... The sound of a bullet slicing through the air. Sniper, 11 o'clock. The two lads dive to the side of the road. The next second, a bullet hole appears in the spot where they were just standing. Vector promptly draws a submachine gun and aims it at the source of the shot, but she freezes at the sight of their attacker. The doll standing on the slope not far away spots corkscrew twin tails that are most familiar to Vector. Relax, that was just a greeting. But her attitude is utterly unfamiliar. Huh? Ruchi? Why is she also in the game? That's not Ruki. What? Who are you? Ruina Crystallis lies just ahead. Not a place meant for you morons like you. I've seen too many who risked everything to try to make a fortune, but end up paying with their lives. Ruchi, who bears the name tag number 90 above her head, continues a monologue as if she hadn't heard Vector's question at all. You're right. Ruchi doesn't talk like Lukai. What? You don't know about Ruina Crystallis? The technology of converting collapsed crystals into crystal energy has won the city worldwide renown. Just how ignorant are you? Collapsed crystal energy? Crystal energy has made Ruina Crystallis the most prosperous and affluent city in the world, and is the best place for us crystal hunters to find jobs. Unfortunately, the largest arterial crystal pipe there exploded, and the radiation released led to the creation of the countless invaders. It was all because of the wanton destruction they caused that Ruina Crystallis is in this sorry state. Ruchi's tone and gestures become increasingly impassioned. It's almost as if a spotlight is shining on her as she soliloquizes. But even as a set of ruins, the remaining collapsed crystals in Ruina Crystallis are still attract countless fools who dream of getting rich overnight. If you're just headless flies driven by greed, I advise you to turn around and scram as fast as you can. What the hell is she on about? Huh? You're not headless flies, you say? Then who on earth are you? After that, Ruchi freezes like someone has pushed a pause button on her. She just stares at them unmovingly. 2 lines of text appear in front of her out of thin air. A. We are not headless flies. B. We are guardians who have come to save the city. She seems to be automatically filtering what we say. These 2 lines are responses? Or maybe... What? Maybe we're in a cutscene and these 2 lines are choices that will set us on different plot branches. In that case, Ruchi, this number 90 must be an NPC? NPC? Mechty, have you ever encountered this when you used your plugin previously? No, the plots were all really simple. It's either slaying a dragon or save a princess, or collecting the little beasts as pets. Why don't we just ask Harpsy, the creator of the plugin? Harpsy, what's going on here? But the surveillance camera simply flutters around them, giving no response. Strange. The comp sign disconnected? Huh? Then let's just randomly pick an answer. Mechty reads the 2 lines quickly. Let's not beat around the bush and state identity. We are guardians who've come to save the city. Wow. That sounded pretty badass. Ruchi comes to life again after receiving a new input. Guardians. Could we just let you actually be guardians? Since you're guardians, I have no reason to stop you. Though I seriously question your ability to save Ruina Crystallis. How dare you question us? To prevent you from a humiliating death, I have some information to share with you. Invaders will regenerate infinitely in the radiation and can only be eradicated by using a secret weapon that can cleanse the radiation. The secret weapon is in a research institute in the northwest corner of Ruina Crystallis. I have guided many people there, but none have returned. If you're sure about this, follow this road and head north. There's a border terminal, which is the only entrance to the sealed city. And here are some supplies for you. Zone map, outskirts of Ruina Crystallis obtains. Ammo 30 times 36 planes. Main story quest updated. Head to the Research Institute of Ruina Crystallis. As a mechanical female voice speaks again, the dolls feel a soft vibration on their wrists. Now go and complete your mission. Stop taking up space here. With that, Ruchi freezes again. Almost at the same time, a frantic voice shrieks from the surveillance camera. Vivi, that wasn't me. I would never call you a fool or a moron. Delete that from your neurologs. I actually find the assessment quite pertinent. Vivi! Don't worry, even I could tell that it wasn't you. Get Hapsy on the line. Okay, but promise you to delete that. Hapsy, here you go. Perhaps his voice now speaks from the camera. Vector? Why did the comms line just get disconnected just now? It didn't. To enhance game immersion, voice input is automatically disabled when entering a cutscene. A cutscene. So that number 90 really is an NPC. Fool. Yes. The creative AI implanted in the plugin can only write very simple things in the early stages. After a period of time, it will learn and upgrade itself by reading the subject's neural logs. Maybe this is why Mehdi had never encountered any NPCs before. Reading the subject's neural logs. That's right. Due to lack of R&D funding, some of the settings, as well as the NPCs' models and appearances, are randomly extracted and recreated from dolls that have taken part in combat simulations in their neural logs. So that wasn't really Ruchi, but merely a character with Ruchi's appearance data. The personality is based entirely on the plot generated by the AI. A carbon copy in terms of physical appearance, but a completely different personality. Oh boy, it's pretty interesting. Getting really excited about what's gonna happen. It would be really funny if the final boss is gonna be 416. Really funny. Does this Ruina Crystallis she mentioned exist in reality? No. The AI just grabbed some information about collapse crystals and made up the rest. Perhaps to ease Vector's concern, perhaps he adds cautiously. Don't worry, it's all just for internal use. None of it is uploaded to the network. Our data's totally safe. Understood. Vector nods. I have no more questions. Let's go, matey. Now that we have the map, the new map, we should continue to explore. Oh, you seem to have even more fired up than me, Vector. See, gamification does work. Perhaps, but I'm more fired up than you. But being more fired up than you isn't something that warrants much praise. True, but rude. Following number 90's instructions, the two dolls entered the border terminal without much hassle. The deserted building appears spacious and empty. A gloom of the unknown lies beyond the turnstile. Wow, almost looks like a passage that leads to some kind of alternate dimension. Watch your step. What? Matey throws the side out of a reflex. When she looks back, she realizes it's just the broken limb of an eaglet. Huh. Now that I take a good look, the whole place is littered with eaglet remains. I have a bad feeling about this. Once we go through this passage, we should be in the city. Fit the pace at Mehdi's health bar. By the way, I've been meaning to ask. What? What's that greyish-white thing underneath our health bar? It goes down periodically. Oh, that's... All of a sudden, a piercing howl interrupts the conversation. Vector's eyes flash as she darts a glance behind her. Duck! Enemy attack! It's not a duck, you fool. It's an eaglet. We're facing unknown number of enemy units. Let's keep our distance for now. These footsteps. It sounds like there are quite a few enemies. Let's just try and handle the best of our, to the best of our abilities. Okay, I'll take that side. It's gonna be really funny because I'm just gonna incinerate everything. I'm sure that these two will do fine for now. That's some very dramatic music. There will be exactly one survivor. Incineration. It walked into the fire and died. The last eaglet is shot through the head and topples to the ground, even while it's still lunging forward. Standing in front of it is Vector, who didn't manage to raise a gun in time. I don't know what priorities. Hey, there's no hostages in this scenario. You know, it's fine. Don't know how to save Napalm is. That reminds me of a song. Wonder how it went. Something, something napalm sticks to things. The finger remains on the still on the trigger. That was close. Are you okay? Victor straightens up. She curls her fingers and uncurls them again tentatively. Was unable to move due to some kind of force, but I seem to be okay now. Oh, that's because your stamina bar was down to 0. Stamina bar. You know the great wet thing that you were just asking me about? Any big movement, like jumping, rolling, etc., consumes stamina. If your stamina bar is empty, you won't be able to move and will have to wait for your stamina to recover. Ahem. To do that, Mehdi the Prophet suggests you move and kite your enemies while recovering your stamina. Don't make any big movements unless you absolutely have to. I see. But how do you define big movements? Any movements other than walking. That doesn't seem very reasonable. Tut tut tut. What are you talking about? This is the essence of this kind of game. Stamina management is the key that sets noobs and pros apart. You still have much to learn, newbie Vector. But in reality, unless there's some kind of malfunction, dogs don't experience such interruptions to the power supply before the battery runs out. I can't think of any real benefit this mechanism brings to actual combat in the real world. Well... Mehdi seems to be devoting a lot of computational power to pondering this question. Her brow furrows deeply. It can reduce unnecessary maneuvers? Conserve energy and power? See, at the end of the day, energy and power aren't infinite. I personally disagree, but I will note this down and let Kluka and the commander be the judge of that. Ugh. We're having so much fun here, why do you keep bringing up the bad ending that awaits me? As they converse, they step over the remains of the Elits and head towards the turnstile. Neither of them notices its almost imperceptible twitch. Let me actually do something real quick. Because what I do really like this Vector outfit. Let me switch back to the default one for now. Because I'll be entirely honest, it's just really fucking cool. Vector is way too cool. Vector is important to manage stamina. That is actually correct, because her battery pack does not give her as much power as everyone else. That's why she has an external battery. That is actually true. I know you weren't referring to that, but still. She is a bit of a special case. Think that was referring to? Okay, I was just thinking you might be referring to being sleepy. With a soft click, Vector and Mehdi exit the phone booth. Wish I had an external battery. Same. Before them lie the familiar wheats and cracked earth. The bloody text "you died" remains hauntingly fresh in the memory. Wait, why are we here again? You return to the last save point only when you die. So clearly we just died? How? I have no idea. I was talking to you, so I didn't see anything. But something probably ambushed us from behind. Just then, survival camera pipes up while circling around them. Vivi, I saw it. It was the Elite that you shot down. It was feigning death. It was the one who attacked you from behind. Elite? It feigned death. It's been hard. Being asleep isn't... Yeah, it is. You already know the news, but... yes, I am actually quite happy about that. I don't know anything about Convolutional Kernel, because I'm keeping myself entirely unspoiled. But I have heard that people were... people were having a mixed opinion about it. So, us getting more is actually pretty cool. How's that, Miko? How you doing? And yes, Bakasoda, her being sleepy is a result of a power pack situation. Should have known there would be such sneaky-ass moves in this kind of game. Nope. Hang on. Am I being ignorant here? Have you ever seen an Elite that knows how to feign death? I haven't, but that doesn't really rule out the possibility. When it's a matter of life and death, even the poor Elites have to pick up some cunning tricks. If that's true, then all commissions that involve Elites would double in price. This time it's Warlord who speaks to the camera. Vector, isn't this one of those extreme unlikelihoods that you're so obsessed with? This shouldn't be so far-fetched according to your logic. The derision in Warlord's tone does not escape Vector, but she makes no rebuke. Instead, she pulls up the game interface. We're missing a certain amount of ammo and 531 XP. Is it a system error? Oh no, it's probably the penalty for dying. Penalty for dying. Uh, just as we get drops or reward for killing enemies, if we die, we also lose supplies and XP. But the supplies are usually retrievable at the location of our death. Wouldn't they be seized by the enemies? Huh? That would be way too infuriating, no? These are the players' hard-earned supplies. If any game implements that, it'll flop real hard as soon as it launches. Or so you'd think, until you play stuff like Tarkov. That might actually be an interesting gimmick. Feels like the game is dragging us around by the nose. Yeah, I totally get what you mean. Sometimes when you just can't beat the game and you're so angry you just want to quit, you think to yourself, oh, I should at least pick up the loot before quitting. Then once you're done that, you'll think, since I'm here, why don't I give it another go? Maybe we'll beat it this time. Then before you know it, a whole night has passed. So the game's exploiting the player's fear of loss and competitive nature to keep them addicted. Let's go and retrieve our loot and then make our way to Ruina Crystallis. The same place again! We'll have to be careful this time around. We'll be fine. I know that the Let's See can play that now. But it's so annoying to have to fight them again. Remember to shoot them once more after they go down, to ensure that no elites are playing dead. Yeah, I got it. Always double tap. Then let us begin. Time to incinerate everything again. This is fine. The enemies are different this time, which is entirely reasonable for a game that is not, in fact, the game that they're playing. That thing's gonna move to the left, attack, and die. That's close. I'm starting to think that I would lose. It was a hard game. It's training. Never mind. Let's go see what else we can take. Okay, I'll have a look over there. Make the Inspector start rummaging through the pile of Edith scattered all around for supplies. The searched Edith corpses disintegrate and fade away. But stuff obtained. Okay. Cheap bracelet made of inferior crystal fragments. Judging by the description, it seems pretty useless. If it's useless, it's probably an item that can be related to the plot. We can't grow on by keeping it with us. Say, this has been quite profitable. With all the XP, we can level up twice in a row. But consider the risk of losing the XP before we find the next save point. You'd be wise not to treat them as yours yet, so that you won't feel sorry if you do lose them. If we lose them, we can always get them back. It's just a bit of a pain. You can always start again in games. You can always start again. Does it mean you don't always give it your all? Exactly. No. I always put in an effort. Vector stares at Mechty with the look of disbelief. Then all of a sudden, another thought seems to have struck her. If we die again while in the process of retrieving a loot, will we still be able to recover the things we were trying to retrieve? I haven't really come across that situation, but speaking from my gaming experience, probably not. Hapsy, is that right? The camera hovering in midair bobs up and down twice. That is indeed the case. I based it on a game with similar mechanics. Basically, you can only recover the things that you last dropped. So if your inventory is empty to begin with, you won't be able to recover anything. In other words, players are very likely to end up with nothing at all. Huh? Yeah, if you're not careful, then that's true. An extremely limited amount of save points, save-based recovery, enemy resetting, drops penalty. So far I find the design and features of this game that are beyond the scope of training a little too harsh and cumbersome. I was just trying to match the level of difficulty to the module. Also, Mechty said that these were all standard setups for games. Standard setups for games. I'd assume you would at least consider how to incorporate training into the game, but from what I can see, you've simply shoehorned it into a framework without much thought. For a moment there, Mechty had Cardius. That's where you're wrong. Suffering is the essence of this sort of mechanism. Only through the trial and hardship does the fruit of victory taste sweeter. I don't have a module installed for ingesting food, thank you. So what else do I not know about the essence of this kind of mechanism? You're missing the point, Vector. You've been approaching this with a negative bias and reluctance from the get-go. It's only natural that you struggle to experience the fun that I'm trying to explain. You've got to relax. I think you also completely failed to comprehend my concerns. I totally understand them, but since we're here, we should just chill and enjoy the game. You. Vector's brow furrows, then she lets out a heavy sigh. Never mind. At least in terms of combat, both the breakout in the beginning and the ambush we just went through match the settings of the module. There are some things that didn't make much sense in other aspects, but they're not impossibly far-fetched. Wow, sounds like you've played some impossibly far-fetched games. I just find it very bizarre that these games demand dolls to behave in a way that follows human psychological habits. Can you explain it in a more understandable way? Basically, back when we were still at Griffin, Ruchi and I took part in a gaming tournament for some monetary rewards. The event was quite heavily promoted. I wonder if you remember. Gaming tournament, that does ring a bell. Apart from dying in combat, players in that game could also die from hunger and hypothermia. That wouldn't be so strange for humans, but we are dolls, so we tend to overlook such problems. If this plugin also incorporates the same mechanism as that makes it possible for us to die from a lack of sustenance or low temperatures, then it would make it even more difficult for us to beat the game. Hold on. Don't tell me about... You're talking about... the Division. What? You didn't participate? Nope. I remember a doll player did actually freeze to death. I think she went by Pink Nyan Nyan Punch. What a tasteful name. I wonder who that was. Right, we'd better get going. Or the idiots will he will respawn. You're right. Then let me check which way we should go. After scrutinizing the map for a while, Vector plotted a serpentine route. So we'll be spending some time on the road. The Research Institute and the border terminal are on two diagonally opposites on the ends of the city. Oh, that's really far. How long will it take for us to get there? Running across the map is always such a chore. Can we just travel along in a straight line here? He points out a straight passage leading to the northwest area, marked with a dotted line on the map. The mouth of the passage is right ahead of them. Underground transportation hub of Ruina Crystallis. Are you sure? Anything underground always sounds particularly ominous. The value of training is demonstrated in the dangerous places. We're not tourists, so what's the point in spending so much time on the road? Alright. It's more important to complete our training. Speaking of Tarkov, heard shooting a dome cell around there to get some PMCs, kill 5 guards, only... I think either there's an event right now that gives Reshala a 100% spawn chance, or on the weekend. So, if you want to hunt Reshala, now's your time. Vector and Mechty feel their way forward into the gloom of the transportation hub. If we die again, let's not go underground again. According to the map, this is the fastest route to the Research Institute. The route above ground is too meandering. But at least we're much less likely to get surrounded, brutally killed by enemies in the dark, just like just now, don't you think? Actually, Bakasora, there is some reasons to kill him. However, the chance isn't great, but it's increased than normal. Reshala has a particularly high chance to spawn the Dom's marked room key, for example. So, it's not like you don't get anything out of it. You just gotta keep killing him. And get lucky. I didn't know our night vision was disabled. Our most recent death cost us 1,500 XP, 110 ammo, and 25 healing potions. All our efforts down the drain, just like that. I know that I know that face. I know that feeling. It's like, ah. Don't just assume we're definitely gonna die. We've gone through this part before, so we can just counterattack following the enemy's sequence of attack, right? Then have you memorized the enemy's sequence of attack? Well, 2 came from the straight ahead, 3 came from the left, and then 1 from behind? Wrong. There were two enemies attacking from us behind. The one who grabbed you crawled up to us on the ground, while the other one who attacked me was hanging from the ceiling. Vector feels a door behind a shiver. Ah, that sounds like something right out of a horror game. But since you've memorized it, we should be fine, no? There's no telling if we encounter more enemies after that. Alright. Games like this love kicking you when you're down. Obviously, this AI's really got the sadism of a certain game that's down to pat. Sadism. Going by your own logic, I thought this would be a so-called essence of these games. It's only an essence after you beat the game. Before that, it's all the dev sadism. And it's just exhausting. I feel like I've reached the point where I just quit the game and go to sleep. But this is your training. Oh. Vector ignores the reluctance in Mehdi's voice and continues onward. As darkness hampers her vision, the auditory module becomes exceptionally sensitive. In this cavernous underground transportation hub, even the softest rustle becomes sounds incredibly loud. Vector suddenly comes to a halt, causing Mehdi to crash right into her back. Ah, that hurt. Why the heck did you stop all of a sudden? Hush, stay quiet, and crank up your auditory module sensitivity. Why are you being all secretive? Mehdi drops her forward and does as instructed. A buzzing noise like the flapping of bee wings glows clearer and clearer from ahead. Is it coming from here? Vector places a hand on the wall next to her and feels her way down inch by inch. What? There's a vent here, and the sound is coming from inside. Mehdi, back up a bit. Huh? Okay. After a burst of gunshots, something plate-like falls onto the ground with a clang. The opening should be wide enough. Wait, you're getting in there? I want to see what's making that noise. The sound is too rhythmic, which seems suspicious. To prevent us from encountering anything unexpected again while we're on the way to recover supplies we've lost, we must eliminate all unfavorable conditions in advance. You have a point. This could be a hidden stage or something. Make it quick, I'll wait here for you. Mehdi lets out a massive yawn. She seems to have grown tired of being energetic. Have you forgotten who's supposed to complete their training here? Ugh, I haven't. But what if we wiped on there? All our worldly possessions will get swallowed by the system again. That's why I told you not to think of them as yours. If we wipe, we'll just start again. We could start again however many times we want since it's a game, right? I can scarcely believe Vector actually said something so reckless. I'm just doing my best to comprehend your idea of fun. After turning a few bends along the ventilation duct, the two doors' vision become clearer and clearer as the eyes capture a little bit of light. At last, they reach the other end of the ventilation duct. Vector dislodges the metal plate by force, and light floods the vision. Metal buckets and storage boxes are scattered all around in a space which is neither big nor small. Several switches are mounted on the walls, and several generators are locked behind metal fences on either side of the passage. This is a generator room? But these generators aren't running, so where's the power coming from? And what's that mechanical sound? Could it be that? Victor looks towards where Mehdi is pointing and sees an electric cable traveling down the wall and across the passage. The cable is connected to a glass container device. A sparkling crystal is suspended in the glass container, slowly rotating while emitting a rhythmic buzz. That's... Just as they make it to approach it, the sound of a glass container crashing to the ground suddenly comes from behind them. They quickly start behind the pillar and raise their weapons. The person who suddenly appeared behind them is currently grabbing at their own face with both hands, looking utterly terrified. My god, she's cute. I've spotted! Is that Harpsy? It is Harpsy. The hovering camera wobbles in the air as if in protest, but it makes no sound. Spotted Lapras will be eaten. What should I do? What should I do? The PC named TMP appears to be in a state of extreme panic. She keeps pacing around the pillar in a passage manically. Then all of a sudden, she stops. I need to calm down. Calm down and think. Alright, I have to find anywhere the anywhere door. If I find the anywhere door, I'll be able to leave. She looks around. Her face lights up in glee and as her gaze lands on one of the storage boxes. Found it. TP steps right into the box and closes the lid above her head in one fluid movement. Vector strides forward and flings the lid open. A scream that sounds almost like a groundhog immediately comes from within the box. No, I got fun again. I'm getting eaten. It's so loud. My auto-turn module, Vector. Do something. As the scream persists in the background, two choices once again appear before the dolls. A. Close the box and let her calm down. B. Use item, crystal place bracelet. So this is where you can use it. Vector taps the icon with the crystal bracelet on her watch and confirms that she would like to hand it over to Harpsy, who bears the name tag TMP above her head. I'm getting eaten, I'm getting... Oh, that's... The bracelet icon in TMP's hand materializes into an actual bracelet. At the sight of the bracelet, the girl's panic immediately replaced by joy. You okay, Oliver? You're the very picture of health. I'm so glad you didn't get eaten by monsters. Now we can get out of here together. Make sure you hold on to my hand and don't let go. TMP puts a bracelet on her wrist fastidiously. Then she gives the two dolls a solemn bow. Thank you. Thank you so much for bringing Oliver. Sorry for mistaking you for scary monsters. Oliver was all I ever had before becoming a lab rat. We loved going on treasure hunts in the city. Oliver said we were just picking up trash, but I often found treasures. Sounds like a scavenger. What's the deal with this lab rat business? Then one day, someone told us that he could offer us unlimited food and safe place to live, but in exchange we must do him a small favor by trying out some colorful candy and drinks. We agreed, so that person let us stay in the cage with lots of other lab rats like us. They were all covered in sparkly crystals, so pretty. Oh yeah, that's it. Wow, thank goodness it didn't break. The jar's surprisingly sturdy. TMP picks up the glass container with the crystals lying by her feet and lifts it up for them to see. He said this crystal is super useful. It generates heat and power and can do anything. Hey, when I left the cage, I took some with me. As a gesture of my gratitude, I'll give this to you. You can also take all of these. The watch is pinged with notifications. Collapsed crystals M3 obtained. Crystal power flashlight obtained. Broken pocket watch obtained. This is all the treasure I have on me. Oliver and I will be resting here for a bit. Until next time, kind strangers. After delivering her lines in rapid fire mode, TMP falls silent. Wow, she came, she monologued, she scrammed. What a perfect NPC. Utterly no nonsense. Whatever the case, this Vector waggles the flashlight in her hands. Shows how we can hand in plot-related items to NPCs in exchange for items that help us along the way. The broken pocket watch probably also has its use, but there's no guarantee we'll run into the right NPC. Don't overthink it. We'll come to them when the time's right. At least we have a light source now. We won't be so easily ambushed by elites that jump us from the shadows like before. But we won't necessarily beat them even if we can see. One step at a time, I suppose. Now let's go get our stuff and continue onto the city. You can finally see clearly. So many enemies lying in ambush. All units be cautioned, and take care to not be ambushed again. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. That enemy seems pretty dangerous. Maybe we should gang up on it. Agreed. And now that's what I call a tacit understanding between members of fraternity. I have no idea what you're talking about, matey. I will incinerate. What level are you? 19. Yeah, I can totally just incinerate. They still be fine. A one-click map clear. Yippee! We'll also get XP towards finally getting Mechanic 4. Yeah, Mechanic 4 is a bit of a pain. With help of the flashlight, the two dolls promptly dispatch the invaders in the transportation hub and recover the loot. Watching SB slowly grow makes you let out a long exhale. I'm kind of in the mood again. Something's not right. Huh? I recovered less than 2/3 of my previous XP. I also have fewer supplies than before. What about you? I don't really see much of a difference. On top of the loot, I have a feeling that something important is missing. Something important. It's all simulated data here, so you shouldn't lose anything. If you lost important neural logs, your neural module would also flag it. That's true. But I'm absolutely certain that this isn't all the loot. Huh? Could it be a bug? Bugs are pretty common in games. Just ask Harpsy for a patch update. Harpsy, can you please take a look? Sure anything, leave it to me. Well, you edit. Also check the surveillance connection. Your voice is getting fuzzy. Okay. For a moment there, I thought that was just her getting embarrassed again, but no, apparently that's connection problems. When they finally emerge from the underground transportation hub, the sunlight is so strong that Mehdi has to squint her eyes. We're finally out of that dark and miserable place. So this is the city proper of Ruina Crystallis. Doesn't seem all that different from the satellite cities we visited before. The image is taken from the neurologs after all, but there are differences. Look over there. They're colourful glass pipes of varying thicknesses and lengths as far as the eye can see. Some of them lie under overturned floor tiles, some are poking out of broken walls, while others are completely exposed outside. Most of them are cracked and broken, like icicles piercing the city. I wonder what these colourful glass pipes are for. This must be the crystal pipe explosion or whatnot that the NPC Ruchi mentioned. Crystal pipe Ruchi. Well, Victor still even thought, another voice speaks up from behind. Those are crystal pipes. They were transmitting crystal energy. Andres? Andres, who has appeared behind them at some point, clasps her hand and blinks. Her lips curl into a prim smile. Ever since people discovered how to convert collapsed crystals into energy, the city began laying pipes made of this special material on a large scale to transmit energy to every corner of the city. The city was therefore named Ruina Crystallis, and the pipes were also named crystal pipes. These rainbow-like crystal pipes were essentially the arteries of the city. Right. Are you crystal hunters? Crystal hunters? No. You managed to reach the city proper. You may not be crystal hunters, but you're no ordinary people either. We're nothing extraordinary either. We're actually guardians. Guardians? Impressive. No wonder you suffered no injuries on your journey here. Well, that's not entirely... What is it, Vector? Feeling a tug on her sleeve, Mehdi looks back at Vector. Don't you think there's something strange about her? Strange? Yeah, you're right. It's like talking to Andros in the flesh. That's not what I mean. Have you noticed that our interactions with the other NPCs are done through multiple choice questions, whereas she's able to converse with us freely? Maybe it's just a fluke that her pre-scripted response matched with the conversation. Let me try again. Mehdi clears her throat. Andres? My name is G36KSK. I'm checking the registers what we're saying. She's different from the previous NPCs. We'd better be careful. And who are you? I am mercenary dispatched to Ruina Crystallis to search and rescue for survivors. You're here on your own. I came with a company, but the intelligence we received was inaccurate. The number of invaders drawn here by the leaked crystal energy far exceeded our expectations. Out with the whole company, I'm the only one left. G36K KSK frowns slightly. I'm just trying to gather as much of my companions' possessions as I can, just to give some closure to the families. The two dolls fall silent as they return to her resolute gaze. Something just feels off. Have you got any ideas? Not really. It's too much of a pain to think. I just want to get this over with and get some rest before Kluka comes back. I have the motivation effect of the gamification thing worn off already. Well, even a gamer girl would get bored after playing for so long. Lies. A true gamer continues playing no matter what. Kluka. No, nothing. You're gathering your fallen companion's possessions, you say. Have you found anything yet? No. It's like trying to find needles in a haystack. Possessions. As Vector ponders this, she suddenly thinks of the broken pocket watch. Maybe you could take a look at this. Vector taps the watch to give the broken pocket watch to G36 KSK. Light particles gather to form a physical object in G36 in her palm. An actual pocket watch. This is... She opens the pocket watch with great care, and eyes well up with tears. It's belonged to a friend. Thank you. She turns the open pocket watch to show Mehdi and Vector what's inside. A photo is engraved on the inside of the cover. The subject with blonde hair and green eyes glares at them with scornful eyes. It's well wrought. Vector eyes on the hovering camera with some trepidation. So the plot actually doesn't mind too much. Thank you. This is probably the only thing I'll be able to find. I don't have anything to give you in return for the favor. Huh? Nothing at all? I thought we'd gain some kind of new skill or some amazing items. Like an armor revival or something like that. I'm very sorry. I'm afraid I don't have any armors of revival, but I could join you and lend you my strength. Support character G36 KS joined the group. Holy crap, this can happen? I suppose a support character is an NPC that assists players in combat? Bingo, 10 points to Vector. Fabulous. Now someone will find him instead. I wonder if this Enterprise also crashes very easily. You shouldn't rely on her too much whether she's prone to crashes or not. You've got to complete the training on your own merit. Don't worry, support NPCs are only there to balance out the game difficulty. The face of the smiling G36, then Mehdi, who is looking around with excitement, frowns. She tries to suppress the sense of disquiet she's feeling and look down to consult the map. Still some distance away from the research institute. I hope nothing will go wrong. Like halfway through. Around about. Well, Hattie's focused on checking the codes on the terminal, while Laura and Ruchi are watching the surveillance feed from level 2 on the monitor. At the sight of her own portrait of the deceased, Laura crosses her arms and scoffs in distaste. Don't let it bother you? Hapsi said as much. It's all randomly generated. You said how odd I was. Don't be ridiculous. You'd think I'd be bothered by that poor facsimile of me? I'm actually more curious about who's behind the design that made me exist in big data in such a disrespectful way. You're totally stamping your feet, yet you still won't admit you're angry. Don't worry. BV and the rest of us won't tease you about it. Who's scared of being teased? Ahem. All I'm saying is the random function of the plugin could use some optimization. Oh? What is it now? They've got killed by invaders again. Water turns around and snickers when she sees that you died on the screen. Oh, poor players. One constantly hesitates out of cowardice, the other is lazy and complacent. This outcome couldn't be more predictable. Huh? But I think they're already working really hard. No, something's wrong. Hopsy's muttering interrupts the conversation. About a frantic typing follows. Richie and Wellrod exchange a look, then walk up to Hopsy. What is it, Hopsy? What's wrong? There's some kind of anomaly in the data. The code that determines the drops is a bit different from what I wrote. It got overwritten. Oh? So that's why they didn't recover all the loot? But who would override the code? I don't know. Hopsy's input triggers pop-up windows on the screen, each bearing a large red cross that flashes continuously. Even Richie and Walrod, who know very little about programming, can tell that this means that Hopsy's attempting to override the code has failed. I can't do it. The editing permissions are completely locked. I can't make any changes. Who on the outside could possibly bypass my access permissions? Yeah? No. Could it be a virus? But it wasn't connected to any external networks when developing and running the program. Don't let these distractions befall you, Hopsy. I think it's time for the two dolls, lost in the fantasies of playing Guardians, to wake up from their dream. Alright, I'll contact them and tell them to disconnect from level 2 right away. Hopsy clicks the comms button on the terminal, but the error pop-up appears on the screen again. Comms are jammed. Jammed. Anything else that seems out of the ordinary? Let me see. Hopsy types away on her keyboard. As rows upon rows of text scroll on the terminal screen, Hopsy knits her brows. The drops aren't the only thing that got overwritten. Even the neural data. Neural data. Every time they die, they lose a certain portion of the neural data. The data flow is untraceable. Shut up, Ritz. It could be some kind of virus. At this rate, the virus will completely take over the neural modules. What? Stay calm, will you? Don't sabotage yourselves for panicking. Hopsy, can you handle this virus? I don't know. I tried to trace it, but the virus is probably capable of hiding its tracks, so I couldn't... Weird seeing Laura look so professional. I mean, she always looked pretty professional. Just not this much. Like... well, actually, I guess the first visual of her isn't, but... Her mod 3 is. This being the mod 3. She used to look like something pretending to be a professional. That's just mean, man. I can't issue the command to terminate the program either. What should we do? Pan Pan. She's absolutely adorable. I love already. TP was never particularly useful in GFL 1, but she was always cute. Unfortunately, panicking won't help you trace the data flow either. Calm down, Hapsy. You are one of the creators of this module and plugin. No one knows it better than you. To be fair, Dia probably knows it better than me, but if we ask Dia for help, Clicker will also find out. Then The Caddius and Hapsy's head droop instantly, probably at the thought of Klukai. I know Klukai is scary, but Vivian Mechti's safety is important here. I know, it's not like I don't care about the safety, I just... Seeing that Hapsy's on the verge of tears, Wara bends down and rests her hands on Hapsy's shoulders. She looks directly into her eyes. If you're certain you can't solve this issue on your own, then get in touch with Dia. Taking responsibility is indeed a daunting prospect, but remember, you're not alone. Wara's firm hands may have steadied Hapsy's nerves a little. She tries to collect herself in knots frantically. Sorry, Hapsy. I was also a bit beside myself, so I just blurted out that without thinking. No, I shouldn't keep hesitating. Alright. Save the self-reflection for later. Now let's get moving. Laura claps her hands. Hapsy, contact the air. Ruchi, send a message to the commander and Kluka explain the situation. Facing up ourselves should spare us from the worst of the storm. Okay. Got it. It would be really funny if this was modified by Lever or something. Just to fuck with them. What level are they now? 20. Time to incinerate everything again. Yep. Ta-da! Fireball! Messi takes in the defeated enemies all around her and expresses a heartfelt admiration. Some have fallen headfirst into the pits, while others are hanging onto the guardrails. Oh, such ruthless firepower, such agility, the ferocity of a $1 army. Have I pulled an SP version of some SSR unit? You flatter me. I'm simply performing my duty. She's even as gentle as Andres. Isn't she too perfect? Not that there's anything wrong with the actual Andres. Just leave all the combat to me. I've been waiting for so long, and someone finally said this to me. This is indeed the Dependal Jr. that I've long dreamed of. Not that I'm complaining about the actual Belka and Andres. Victor looks at Mechti, who's hanging onto the G36 KSK like a rucksack, with a hint of helplessness. Are you planning to make her carry you the whole way? What's the problem? It's not like walking is part of the training. I think a chewing out by Kluka is inevitable at this point, but if she sees you like this through the surveillance recording, it's just a matter of a 500-shot drill turning into an 800-shot drill. Quantitative change often leads to the qualitative change. She might start tormenting you by targeting your precious collection instead. Suddenly remembering her large collection of special edition manga and merch, Mechti lets go of G36 KSK demurely. Kluka's away, but she still stalks me like my own shadow. Alright, let's go retrieve our loot. Mechti and Vector walk towards the two beams of light not far away. The loot enters their respective inventories in a burst of light. Noticing the problem, the two dolls look at each other almost at the same time. I think you're right about the deducted loot. We only got back less than half of the XP and supplies. Hapsy, have you figured out what's wrong? Have a good night, Ask. Take care. Get yourself some rest. Also, let me drink something. It is a lot of talking. Have a good night. The camera hovers smoothly next to them. It makes no response. Hapsy? What's going on? We're not in the middle of a cutscene right now, so why are the comms being jammed? Vector, This has... This Hopsy or whatever you keep talking about. Who is it? It's... Like, this suddenly realize that something is terribly wrong. It's Hopsy, imprint model TMP. She repeats a familiar name slowly, but Mehdi just stares at her even more blankly. Hopsy? Who's that? A new friend of yours? You don't seem like the type to go making friends with strangers. She doesn't seem to be joking. Making jokes takes too much effort from Mehdi. It's not my imagination. Huh? I'm not imagining this feeling that something's missing. You've been saying some really strange stuff since a while ago. Mehdi. Vector interrupts her. Try to disconnect from level 2. Huh? But we're not done yet. Do as I say. Try to disconnect. Sure. After trying to multiple times, Mehdi looks at Vector in confusion. I can't. What's going on? Either something happened out there, or something's wrong in here. Mehdi, remember when I said that I had a feeling something important was missing? I don't think I was imagining it. What did we lose? I don't know what I lost, but you definitely lost something. Vector tells Mehdi about Hopsy. But I still can't recall her. The data's lost, so that's not surprising. What matters is now how to prevent further data loss. Say, do you think this has something to do with her detected loot? She lost energy? No, she lost part of a neural log, so technically memory. Like, every time we die, we can recover fewer and fewer things, and as a result, we lose our own neural data, or something like that. There's no evidence that the two phenomena are related, but it is very likely. Jeez, what kind of horrific bug is this? I don't know, but from now on, we can't treat this as a game where we have infinite lives. The more we die, the more we lose. What? Then maybe we should just stay where we are and wait for the rescue? That does make sense. It would certainly reduce the chance of getting hurt. But then we'll also be putting all of the rest pressure on Hopsy and the others to solve the problem. It can't be helped. Our comms are jammed and we don't even know what's going on out there. Are we really just going to sit here and wait for a doom? Then what ideas have you got? Turning into Superman? Vector lapses into deep thought. After a while, she tears her eyes away from the weeds growing out of the cracks in the concrete along the roadside. I'm thinking. To end the game, other than breaking the connection by force from the outside, maybe beating the game in here is also a solution? But wouldn't that get increasingly risky under these circumstances? I still think it's better to find somewhere safe and hunker down. We have G36 KSK with us. If this was still your regular training, I'd have a problem with her presence as she is basically helping you cheat. However, she can relieve some of the combat pressure for us in these desperate times. Vector glances at G36 KSK, who's standing behind Mehdi. Perhaps because she is standing with her back towards the light, her face is obscured in shadow, and the smile is barely visible. Like a dutiful NPC, she has remained silent throughout the two dolls and conversation. Besides, we still can't be certain if data loss is caused by dying or something else. The sooner we can exit level 2, the better. There are things even you don't want to forget, right? Mehdi passes her lips and tears at her hand in frustration. Then she lets out a sigh. Alright, I'm meant to complete the game training anyway. Having you talk to me so earnestly instead of just yelling feels pretty unsettling. You prefer Kluka's method? Huh? No way, why would I have such a dangerous thought? Are you sure you don't? Of course not, you can't be more wrong. Beat the game, yeah? Let's go then. It'd suck if Kluka deletes all the anime that I saved at the outpost. Still thinking that the Andorras is going to attack them or something. The satellite city streets in the memory were at least somewhat orderly, but here large chunks of broken crystal pipes are scattered everywhere. Uprooted sidewalk slabs reveal barren yellow sand beneath, and as they walk along, the view looks no different from the yellow zones. Interesting. We'll reach the Research Institute once we cross this district. Wow, it looks as if Ultraman and some monster had a brawl here. We're quite close to the ground zeros of the arterial crystal pipe explosion, and the high concentration of collapse radiation attracted many invaders and elites, so this place has practically got razed to the ground. In other words, there could be a lot of enemies lurking about. We can't afford to be careless. That's true. We can deal with anything unexpected better if we proceed to in an inverted triangle formation. I can take the rear. No, you do the way in front. Mechty and I will cover the rear and flanks. Understood. G36 KSK nods demurely and walks ahead with a weapon held at the ready. You seem wary of her. An NPC that can accurately analyze the current situation, choose between remaining silent and talking freely with the players, and can also make tactical suggestions. She's basically a fully sentient doll. Are the support characters in the games you play so advanced? It could be. I don't really remember. You mustn't let down your guard around it just because of a strong resemblance to Andorus. Besides, she's completely different from Andorus. Oh, tell me about this. Unlike Andorus, she's insanely strong in combat. It would be so much easier to tell her apart if her personality is significantly different from the real deal, just like Ruchi and that number 90. I mean to ask, is this Ruchi my teammate? Mechty's eyes, which she can barely keep open for most of the time, widen in shock. Ruchi, you don't remember? Not only is she teammate, she's also your best friend. Best friend? Corkscrew twin pals, always twittering by your side, and what else? I don't really know the story between you two. Like the Rax and Neurocloud, but you can't find any trace of the name. In an incomplete Neurolog, someone runs over with a recruitment brief full of red crosses. The same person calls out to her through the thick glass while she's soaked in corrosive liquid. But the person's face is utterly blank. Vector freezes in bewilderment. I only found some broken memory fragments. Mechty glances uneasily at the camera that's been following them in silence, then awkwardly tries to comfort Vector. It's gonna be fine. Once we're out of here, we can reload our neural backups. A building ahead of them collapses and all of a sudden emitting a deafening noise. A long-haired girl emerges from the swirling dust. She stumbles into this direction, followed by the invaders that are chasing her relentlessly. Help! Multiple enemies target spotted at 1 o'clock. Exact number unknown. They are moving towards us at high speed. Engage in 8 seconds. Hold on, let's worry about that later. Prepare for battle. Long-haired woman calling for aid. That it would be also funny if that was Klukai. Because she definitely wouldn't call for help. She'd be absolutely nuking everything. More so than Vector. Speaking of nuking things with Vector. Plop. Raise the world to the ground. So right now, there are no more invaders. G36KSK gives the cowering girl a gentle squeeze on the shoulder. The girl, obviously very shaken, is still trembling all over. Above her head is a name tag that reads 416. Vector, I'm not reading this wrong, am I? Her name is indeed 416, not you're dreaming or you've gone blind, right? You're reading it right. 416 cranes her neck and starts bawling. Fat tears roll down from eyes. Her usual cold and haughty face now looks almost pitiful. I know it's not the real deal, but it sure is impactful. I didn't expect we'd turn into another NPC so close to the research institute. The two dolls walk up to 416, who suddenly jumps up to her feet and grabs Mechty. Whoa. Oh, so help my sister. Please save my sister, I beg you. What sister? Ow, 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 my arm's going to fall off. Over here, follow me. 416 lets go of Mechty and runs back in the direction she has come from. Sheesh, her personality is different, alright, but she's still got the same monstrous strength. Hurry, we're going after her. It's surprising that there's still such well-preserved houses in the city. There's even a sofa. Mechty, immediately drawn to the sofa near the entrance, like a nail to a magnet, collapses into it. G36KSK follows them into the house and stands quietly in the corner. So soft, so comfy. Doesn't quite compare to my beanbag sofa, but it gives the couch in the lounge a run for its money. Come, Vector. Savor this hard-earned moment of tender coziness. No thanks. Get up. We have stuff to do. If you mean the cutscene, you handle it. I'm very sleepy. She can go to sleep even on level 2. Vector shakes her head in mild disbelief and walks up to 416, who is now by a bed in the room. She has to admit that the calm and quiet atmosphere here is quite relaxing. She decides not to bother waking Mechty. Fix this. Are you okay? Don't scare me. As Vector approaches the bed, 416 unfreezes and starts crying piteously while holding the hand of the person lying on the bed, who happens to be... It's either going to be Belka or 45. Belka. Okay. The one lying on the bed with her eyes closed and her face pale is none other than Belka, but the name tag above her head reads G at G28. Hearing 416's voice, she musters her strength and opens her eyes just a crack. Nixis, you're badly injured. I tried to find you some medicine in the Research Institute, but I ran into invaders. These people saved me. You... Don't talk, Nixis. Excuse me, do you have any medicine with you? The watery green eyes turn to Vector. Then she suddenly understands how Mechty feels. Impactful indeed. Under 416's imploring gaze, Vector taps her watch and gives her a healing potion. Thank goodness. Nixis, they'll have medicine. I'll give you some right away. She tries to prop G28 up from the bed, but she may have aggravated her wounds, as G28 starts coughing violently. Mixes, are you alright? It's noisy, what's going on? Mechty sits up on the sofa and rubs her eyes. She looks over at the bed. That's Belka. She rubs her eyes again. Kluka is holding Belka in her arms. They're both NPCs. I know, but Kluka is bawling while clinging to Belka? No way, I don't care if it's real or not. I gotta capture this absolute masterpiece. Where's my terminal? She pats herself down frantically, but then she remembers she's on level 2. So she taps her watch. Oh, this is screen capture recording feature. 416 dresses G at 28's wounds lightly. G28 finally directs her attention to Vector. You have my gratitude. May I know who you are? We are Guardians. Vector reads out the only option she's given. We are Guardians. Guardians, you say? Nexus, don't get so worked up. I'm fine. I'm okay. Allow me to introduce myself. 416 and I are both researchers at the National Research Institute No. 3 laboratory. I was in charge of the project to convert collapsed crystal into crystal energy. You could say we're the ones responsible for the crystal pipe explosion. Sis. I've always known that crystal energy is not completely clean. Moreover, the safety of the crystal pipes is also very unstable. But we yielded to the authorities. Not only did we not put a stop to the experiment on crystal energy, we even pushed it, little by little, to the point of no return. Vector recalls TMP, whom they have met earlier, and draws the mental connection. Fortunately, we have a remedy. 416 used to own funds to develop a substance that can completely purify collapsed particles. The purification solution. Purification solution. That must be the secret weapon that number 90 talked about. Makes sense. We have stockpiled a certain amount of purification solution in the Institute's laboratory. We just need to put the solution into the diffuser in the Institute's launch center, and we can purify the city. The problem is, the launch center was destroyed, and the automatic security system with the Institute was activated, so we can't get through. However, the Ruina Crystallis airbase in the northeast corner of the city. There's a helicopter there with a diffusion device installed on its tail. If you load it into the solution, with a solution and fly around the city, you can also complete the purification. This is it. Mechty, this is how we clear the game. A gunshot erupts from behind. Like a slow-motion scene in a movie, Vector watches that bullet as a bullet bursts out of her chest, passes through G28's forehead, and leaves a black crater on the wall. The shot NPC seems utterly unfazed. She continues to rattle off the pre-written script with great emotion despite the bullet hole on her head and the continuous gunfire. But Vector can no longer hear what she's saying. She turns around with great difficulty, only to see a smiling G36 KSK with a gun raised, and Mechty, who has flattened herself on the sofa in terror. Mechty, run! Well, who could have guessed that the NPC is kind of not normal? Because even the NPCs that they made after still only go through the pre-written responses. Vector. Orbs of faint light appear where Vector has fallen. Mechty knows that they are Vector's dropped items. What is the outside world like? Show me more. G36 KSK stretches out her hands, and the lights fly into her palm like birds returning to the nest. The figure immersed in light begins to transform little by little. And Andorra's illuminated face is as calm as serene as ever, but the color of their hair by ear starts fading. Her body also droops like a melted wax, and then it looks almost like as if a pair of invisible hands are gently lifting her up and resculpting her. After the light has faded, she appears before Mehdi like a patchwork portrait, with all the colors and characteristics of the different Fall 4 members. Not enough. Not enough at all. No. Who exactly are you? I don't like this name. It sounds like a tool. I want my own name. New name to mark a new life, isn't that right? Who the hell are you? That's right. Your name is Mehdi. Mehdi means dream. An eerie smile creeps across that uncanny patchwork face. I was born of your memories, your dreams. You could call me Koshima. NPCs won't betray me. Well, this one will, apparently. Cosmo's a scary dream in Russian. That's probably what they're going for. Remotely controlling the terminal in the training room, Dia checks the code of the module and plug-in row by row. Hapsis also nervously keeps her eyes glued to the terminal screen, not daring to relax at all. Meanwhile, Ruchi and Warrod are keeping a close eye on the situation level 2 in the surveillance monitor. What should we do with Vivi? Vivi doesn't remember me anymore. The data loss is only temporary. Once she's out of there and redownloads her neural backup, she will be the same old Vector. I know, but it still hurts that Vivi is treating me like a total stranger. Tears are a sign of your incompetence. If you keep crying, you will only put more pressure on Hapsi and Dia. I'm sorry. At last, movement can be heard from the terminal nearby. There's no virus at all. How can it be? The problem is the highly intelligent and creative AI that you implanted. Its deep learning ability allows it to continuously read the doll's neural data and continuously improve its own framework autonomously. It has now concluded its first cycle of self-completion. Compare its current base code with what was originally written. Isn't it much more complex? It does seem to be the case. That's why you couldn't find the so-called virus. Freaking hell, the creative AI is artificial intelligence. Dolls are also artificial intelligence. You put two AIs into a single vessel. Are you trying to teach them what survival of the fittest means? It didn't occur to me. Never mind. According to my speculation, the goal of this AI is probably to seize the neural clouds and take control of the frames. If this continues, I'm afraid it will backhack the main control system sooner or later. When that happens, not only will their data be at risk, but so will yours. So now it's just a pathetic usurper. Now that we know what we're dealing with, we just have to launch an EW attack to wrest the control back from her, and Bob's your uncle. It's not that simple. This AI is already merged with Mehdi's and Vector's neural clouds to an extent by seizing their neural data. Even if we manage to wrestle the control back from her, the remnants of the AI's data will still stick around her neural clouds. If we don't do a thorough job of getting rid of the AI, they'll basically be walking time bombs. Is there no other way? Diep wanders in silence for a long while on the screen. There is a way, but it's incredibly risky. I can't make the decision alone. The door slides open with a whoosh, followed by a set of angry footsteps. I follow Klukai into the room, eyeing the floorboards as she has just stomped over with concern. Klukai, come on, what are you... We're gone for just a few hours and you've already created a gigantic mess for us to come back to. I sweep fiercely over to everyone present before finally settling on Dia on the screen. Solution. Stop wasting time. Alright, here's the solution. Meanwhile on level 2. If I respawn at the save point... A dozen invaders are outside, staring hungrily at Vector in the phone booth. She checks her inventory and sighs at all the empty slots and a pitiful amount of ammo. I'll get swamped the moment I step outside, so I won't be able to save even myself, let alone Mehdi. On my own, I really am utterly useless. Intense gunfire interrupts Vector's moping. She watches as the invaders outside are shot in the head one by one. The area around the phone booth is cleared in no time. Vivi, are you alright? Sorry, it took us long to get here. A girl with corkscrew twin tails throws herself at the door of the phone booth, scaring Vector by squishing her face right up against the glass. We are right on time. Good thing you haven't lost the ability to make sound judgment. I'm glad you didn't just rush out to take on these invaders and and let them give you a thorough beatdown. Safe now. Come out. You... With a frown, Vector opens the door and exits the phone booth. She dodges Ruchi's flying tackle and makes her way over to Hopsy. Hopsy wrings her hands nervously. Vector, are you okay? You seem to be the real Hopsy. How did you get in here? Vivi. Ignoring me, eh? Looks like our almighty team leader has lost the memory of more than one teammate. You're right, I can't bring up any data regarding the two of you in my neurocloud. Vivi, you don't remember World either? Never mind. We're here precisely to resolve this problem. World looks at Hopsy, who's standing next to Vector. With a nod, Hopsy tells Vector everything in a soft murmur. So, Dia's recommendation is to defeat the AI, take what she drops and recover the data I've lost. At the same time, I must clear the game to put an end to this endless cycle of dying and respawning, correct? That's it. Dia's already obtained certain permissions and will help us using cheat codes. The limit on the stamina bar has been removed. This is way too risky. It wouldn't be such a big deal if it was just me and Mehdi, but now you're putting yourself in danger too. Vivi, how could you say that? What do you mean it wouldn't be such a big deal if just you and Mehdi? You're a very important companion and the leader of us, Team B. That's right. Us. Without you, it wouldn't be us anymore. Vector looks at Ruchi and finds herself speechless. I really don't have any memory of what you're saying. That's okay. I'll help you recover it. I can't recall anything at the moment, but I have a feeling you must be someone whom I know very well. Ruchi freezes for a moment, but then she beams. Yep. Alright, enough catching up. And don't be so pessimistic. Now that the high and mighty team leader is here, we may actually stand a chance. High and mighty team leader? You don't mean... All 16 is in. Elsewhere, Mehdi, who has been frantically avoiding Koshma's pursuit, is cowering inside a concrete drainage pipe. You can't find me, you can't find me, you can't find... All of a sudden, a shadowy figure leans into the pipe. Beep. Mehdi is so terrified her neurocloud is on the verge of shutting down, but once she makes out who it is, she lets out a sigh of relief. Oh, it's you, fake Lukai. This fake Lukai is looking at her with wide, pitiful eyes. Unimpressed, Mehdi shrinks back and waves a hand at her, as if she were shooing away a puppy. Go away, you old out-of-character weirdo. You're gonna make me get caught by that Frankenstein. If only Tyrant Lukai were here, she would kill the Frankenstein easy peasy. Hey, why are you pulling me? I'm not going out there! Follow me. I know a safer place. Huh? A monstrously strong hand grabs Mehdi and pulls out of the pipe. Mehdi is getting a bit disoriented. Am I still in a cutscene? Maybe Koshma is just a boss and the NPC is now taking me some savers so I can regenerate or something? It's much safer here. Before she can react, her view is suddenly turned upside down, and she feels herself being thrown headfirst into a cramped space. Ow, that hurts! Well, what do you think? Don't you feel right at home in this trash can? Fake Lukai lifts her chin. The face that looked so pitiful just a second ago is now full of disdain. Hold on, that tone. Since the out-of-character NPC is now also getting out of character, she's actually resembling the original character more. This is getting a bit confusing. Mehdi! It's real deal! Klukai! Stay away from me, you're filthy. With a look of disgust, Klukai shoves her hands into Mehdi's face to stop her incoming embrace. Level 2 is simulated anyway, the filth isn't real. You're sullying my visual module. Such familiar and comforting mockery, whatever you say. Now that I think about it, why are you here? What about the commission? The client cancelled the mission on short notice, so I came back. What else was I supposed to do? Visit the Yellow Zone with a command and enjoy the collapse storm? I just didn't expect to receive such a huge surprise while on my way back. Kluka sneers coldly. Mehdi gulps despite having no saliva. Let me explain. I just wanted to explore a new way of training. I will give you plenty of time to explain, but not now. The tone implies that this is far from over. We take care of that distasteful Frankenstein first. I won't let the camera of an AI make your already dumb neurocloud even dumber and give you an excuse for your future dumb shenanigans. Is this communicator secure? The said he set up an encrypted comms channel that the AI won't be able to tap, so it should be secure. Oh, it's connected. Mehdi, can you hear? If you had called any later, I would have counted you out. See you at the save point. Put someone with a fully functional language module on the line. Perhaps he promptly shoves the communicator into Vector's hand. Okay, it's me, Vector. Let's cut straight to the chase. Have they briefed you on the situation? Yes, I'm all caught up. Eliminate the AI, recover neural data, clear the game, end the cycle. It's crucial that you follow the exact order. If you clear the game first, you won't be getting back any of the stolen data. I suggest you obtain the purification solution first so that you can clear the game right after killing the AI, thus minimizing the time in between those two steps and reducing the risk of having the plan derailed. Understood? Before she can finish, the sound of a building exploding and collapsing can be heard from the other end of the line. Ah, Kluke, Kushma's coming. Why are you screaming your head off? Is he gonna prop? Koshma? The Frankenstein gave herself a name that means nightmare. What a joke. I'm going to turn this into her nightmare. Fierce gunfire erupts from the communicator, interwoven with piercing, anguished screams. The voice sounds somewhat familiar. Ah! Don't just stand there, run! How are things on your end? The Frankenstein keeps coming at us. Need us to come back up? Did you not understand what I said? Vector, take your Team B and get your hands on the purification solution. Mechty and I can keep Cosmo busy. Ah, Kluke, invaders ahead. Shut up and shoot! Vector? Understood. I'll be sure to complete the mission. A three-dimensional image of the Research Institute building is displayed on the screen of Vector's watch. According to the topographic map and the intelligence provided by DIA, the Institute's security protocol has been fully activated, but more than 75% of the building is damaged, so there are plenty of poorly defended openings. The west garage is where we are right now, is one of them. Have you got an entry route? I've planned 3 routes based on distance, time, and number of enemies we will encounter. I personally recommend Route C, which is going to go along the out edge of the west corridor to the exterior of Zone Z, where there is a gap in the wall that was blasted open. After entering Zone Z from the gap, we turn right and travel for 200 meters, at which point we will come across an air raid passage that goes all the way down. We follow the air raid passage down to level LG10, crawl along the ventilation duct there to the 5th window, and we will arrive right above the laboratory where the solution is stored. What's your reasoning for choosing this route? It's relatively safe. It's a little convoluted, but the defense along this route is the weakest. We may run into security droids on patrol near the gap leading to Zone Z, but that's it. As for the patrols within the lab, the enemies are in the open while we have the advantage of the surprise, so they pose no threat at all. Wellrod plants a hand on her hip, looking at the very picture of confidence. Wellrod, yes? You don't have to keep reiterating the loss of your neural data. No, I just think you're capable of making the detailed plans and have a commanding presence. You're more of a team leader than me. Huh? Please don't say that. You're great too, Vivi. There's no need to spare my feelings. I'm merely stating facts. However, you haven't considered a potential problem. Go on, then. Vector points at herself. You? Well, can't help but show a hint of surprise. Since I lack sufficient information of both of you and Ruchi, it's impossible for me to assign roles and coordinate effectively based on your strengths and weaknesses. So I would like to hand over command of this operation to you. You mean I am to be the team leader? You are more suitable candidate under these circumstances. Despite the data loss, Vector appears much more certain than usual. Is there a problem? Surely this shouldn't be a challenge for you. Challenge or not, I will fulfill my responsibility. Following the entry route planned by Wellrod, Team B successfully reaches the ventilation duct just above the lab. They peer into the lab through the cracks of the vents. The room is unoccupied. Only a handful of equipment is still running and making some rickety noise. No enemy unit in sight. No sign of the target item either. Once we're in there, Harpsy and Uchi will search for the solution. Make sure your respective search areas don't overlap. Vector and I will keep moving and be on the lookout. Roger that. The 4 doors enter the laboratory through the vents. As Vector gets a better look at the layout of the lab, a certain fragmented scene flashes quickly by a neural cloud. Vivi, what's wrong? Ruchi asks, sensing her hesitation. This scene feels oddly familiar, like I've been here before. Familiar? Oh, you mean the simulation training we did this morning? It does look a bit similar, but there's no hostage to be rescued this time. Simulation training. Have you also lost this part of your memory? You also got into a big fight with almost got into a big fight with Wellrod because she didn't stick to the operation plan. Ahem. You can leave out the superfluous information. Wellrod, who is standing guard nearby, suddenly coughs loudly. Have you found the solution? Guys, I think I've got it. Harpsy calls out from one end of the laboratory. Next to her is an opened electronic cabinet with glass jars filled with green liquids neatly stacked inside. Wow, that's great. Just then the alarm starts blaring. The door is blown off its hinges, and a large number of security droids surge in. Enemy targets spotted. They spotted us. Find cover. The group takes cover behind a large piece of equipment as bullets rain down like torrential storm, slamming into the machine with a deafening roar. Seeing the brief moment when the enemies are reloading, Welrod peeks out from behind cover with her riot shield. However, after only a few shots, she falls back under another hail of bullets. Damn it, the enemy units in the game can actually share information with each other. The approaching enemies give her no time to finish the sentence. Other than Harpsy, who's protecting the solution, the other three droids desperately fight to keep the enemies contained with the barricades. There's no end to these droids. What if I draw the fire and you guys make it run through the vent? No, that would be certain death for you. And quite frankly, you alone won't be enough to stall them for long enough to make a... you alone won't be able to stall them long enough for all of us to make it safely through the vent. Then think of another way. We can't do this all day. The only choice is to clear paths with grenades and charge through the main entrance. The weight in Welrod's hand is suddenly gone. When she looks up, Vector's already grabbed her riot shield and charged out of cover. What are you doing, Vector? The enemies instantly shift their aim and unleash a relentless barrage towards Vector. Make for the vent. Ruchi, Hapsi, get the solution to safely out of here. If you don't see us after more than 10 minutes, get to the airbase on your own. Welrod grabs a discarded metal plate from the ground and holds it up in front of her. What about you? It's just a game. Dying once is no big deal. Then she sprints towards Vector without a second thought. Why did you act without permission? I'm the team leader here. The thunderous explosion drowns out all other sounds. Several culture tanks in the laboratory shatter on impact, sending torrents of incubation fluid surging out, knocking over every security droid. Welrod loses her footing and nearly falls, but Vector, who's anticipated this, counters her firmly. Go! From the corner of the eye, Welrod spots Ruchi and Harpsy already crawling into the ventilation duct. Without hesitation, Vector grabs Welrod's hands and pulls her towards the exit of the lab. So you actually had a plan. Sorry, I know it's risky, but it was an opportunity that I had to seize. No, I should be the one to apologize. Huh? You'll understand what I mean when you have your neural data back. More sporadic gunshots can be heard from behind them. Looks like culture fluid cannons didn't get rid of all of the vermin. What level are they? 22. Incineration. Can I get all of them? Sure fucking can. As long as the enemy's are low level, Vivi can absolutely evaporate everything. It's just a map-wide fuck you. Continue. Having successfully acquired the purification solution and withdrawn from the research institute, Team B is now moving towards the northeast corner of the Ruina Crystales under the cover of night as quickly as they can. Hapsi, can you contact Mehdi and Klukai? The comms channel is still online, but nobody's answering. Keep the line open. Okay. Hapsi sends another comms request. Unlike before, when the requests were met with nothing but a long, tedious dial tone, the call is answered almost immediately. This is Hapsi. We've secured the purification solution and are heading toward the Ruina Crystales airbase. Purification solution? Since this signal is unstable, the speaker's face isn't shown on the screen. But the voice belongs to neither Klukai nor Mehdi. I see. Huh? Wait for me. I'll be right there. The call is terminated. Hapsi looks over at Vector in alarm. That was neither Klukai nor Mehdi. It could only be... Koshma. Then Mehdi and Klukai must be in big trouble. It's pretty obvious from the call that Koshma is on her way to do us in, even if Klukai couldn't beat her. So, what chances do we... Calm down. Worst case, she defeated Klukai and Mehdi. But as long as we haven't cleared the game, the respawn cycle won't end. Once they respawn, they'll come back to back us up. So don't worry too much about them. There were just the two of them, so they couldn't even utilize the basic team formation. Their defeat was hardly unexpected. Now that we're all here, as long as we stay on our toes, defeating Koshima isn't entirely impossible. That's right. Besides, that's just the worst case scenario. What if things went down better than what we're assuming? Has it need to actually cure your paranoia? Say, maybe you should actually stay like this. Vector shakes her head. Whether it does me any good or not, I need to recover all my memories of you. I don't want to misplace any of it. I was just joking. Don't take it so seriously. Why is there such an enviable sense of rapport between the two of you now? What happened between you two? Nothing. Put a lid on your pointless curiosity. Look, Vivi, is that the helicopter that G-28 mentioned? A battered military helicopter sits on a small tarmac. A rectangular device is hanging from its tail. That should be it. Inspect the engines first. Make sure it's fit to fly. Okay. Ruchi climbs into the cockpit to inspect it. After a quick check, she hops back it down. The engine is in good condition and there's plenty of fuel. The helicopter even has an autopilot function. Though the two managed to dodge the attack in time, the helicopter's now riddled with bullet holes in an instant. Oh my, did I miss? The girl hovering midair lowers the guns in her hands, but the 7 guns floating around her remain trained on Vector and Richie. How can she control so many guns at once? Hang on, is she wielding my PV-90? Next time, I'll take better aim, okay? Give me all your data, please. That way I will be complete. Her voice is undoubtedly that of a young girl, yet it is light and airy, with an upward tilt, little tinged with mockery. Vector stares at her for a while, then lets out a chuckle. Why are you laughing? No wonder Klukai called you Frankenstein. Frankenstein. Your appearance, weapons, everything about you stems from Mechti's and my neural data of the 8 of us. Vector shows no fear of our weapons. She paces before Cosmo with deliberate ease. Still hovering midair, Cosmo follows Vector's movement and turns her body slowly. Even if you read all of my neural data and sees our frames, you will never be perceived as a complete doll or new Cosmo. You are just an amalgamation of patchwork parts. You don't even actually exist, let alone have the ability to be complete. I don't exist. I will never be complete. That's right, you don't exist. Well-rot. All of a sudden, Well-rot ducks down, the Vector ducks down, and the sharp crack of gunfire erupts from behind Cosmo. Bullets tear through her limbs and abdomen. Caught off guard, Cosmo immediately flies up to dodge the attack from behind. When she turns and spots Well-rot and Harpsy firing at her from behind the helicopter, her face instantly contorts in fury. You ambushed me! Just reciprocating the courtesy you showed to our friends. I want to have my own frame, like the rest of you. I want to experience the outside world. I can have my own data. All this data, it's all me. Cosmo lets an anguished shriek. The floating guns around her start spinning and firing wildly in all directions. Spread out. Amidst the chaos, a stray bullet strikes the purification solution that had been strapped to Harpsy's arm, sending the glass container tumbling. The fluorescent green liquid instantly catches Cosmo's attention. The purification solution. She halts a reckless barrage and aims her gun at the container. Oh no. Vector lunges to shield the container, but Cosmo has already pulled the trigger and the bullet shoots straight towards Vector's head. Vivi, look out! The loud noise is followed by a dreadful silence. Vector opens eyes. The glass container in her arms is intact, and she isn't met with the dreaded "You died" text. Then that gunshot. Holy shit, what kind of ultimate kill stealer are you? You even managed to hit an airborne bullet! Starting from tomorrow, you're adding 200 shots to your dynamic target practice. I was complimenting you. Ow! Hearing the familiar voice from behind, Vector turns and sees Klukai landing gracefully after vaulting over the railing, alongside that stumbling Mechti. Vivi, are you alright? Yeah, I'm fine. Vector grips the containers tightly, her fingers still trembling. If you're okay, then get up right now. The fight isn't over yet. I will be honest, I'm a little bit disappointed that G11 is displayed as helpless and bad in combat. Because, let's just say that that wasn't the case in GFO1. Was she amazing in combat? Meh. But she certainly wasn't useless, and a lot of the times, a lot of combat strategies actually hinged on her. She was a very important center of Squad 4-4. Let's actually build a proper team here. Because I think to remember There was some funky business here. Then again, we might just be able to finish it with the same incendiary bullshit. I just know that in the challenge mode or whatever, she had a very annoying property. Where only fixed damage actually goes through. Oh no, mate, she's dead. Cosmo can't withstand the combined firepower. Good woman. Cosmo cannot withstand the combined firepower of the 6 dolls. The floating ants around her are shattered one by one. At last she can hold out no longer. She plummets from midair, hitting the ground with a brutal thud, then becomes motionless. Luca steps forward, following a couple of rounds into her body just to be sure. After confirming no further movement, she signals to the others, and one by one they emerge from cover. Is it over? But the helicopter got shot into Swiss cheese, so what do we do now? Well done, Ruchi. Go check the status of the helicopter. If it's not usable, check the other aircraft. No way this helicopter is the only functional aircraft of the entire base. There's actually a distinct possibility. Ow, why'd you bonk me on the head? Shut up already. Go with Vector and recover your neural data. Cosmo will be back after she respawns. Haven't we destroyed all the nearby save points while we were on the way here? She won't get here that soon. If you think that you can escape your punishment in reality, you're being delusional. Any more procrastination will only double the punishment. Make your parts and shuffle closer to Cosmo. Strange. Why can't I recover? Whoa! Cosmo has been lying motionless on the ground, suddenly lifts her head. Mehdi yelps and jumps back in fright. But Cosmo ignores Mehdi entirely. Instead, she turns and bolts towards Vector, who's holding the purification solution. Her movement swift and crystal clear. Ruchi and Wellrod, who have been inspecting all the helicopters nearby, are drawn to the commotion by Mehdi's startled cry. Luke and Vector are the first to react. Without hesitation, they draw their guns and open fire on Cosmo. Oh. A fresh burst of bullets completely severs Cosmo's already dangling left arm, but she doesn't even flinch. With a still functioning right hand, she brushes against a shadowy, decorative mark on the side of her right thigh. Electronic currents crackle around her. Then with a flash of white light that illuminates the darkness, the shadow solidifies into a drawn blade. Without slowing, she lunges at Vector with a weapon. Not fair. Not fair. It's not fair. If I'm stuck here, you're not leaving either. Crap. There is no time to dodge. The raised blade gleams coldly under the moonlight. A small figure suddenly barrels into Cosmo from the side, knocking her away from Vector. Vector immediately ceases firing, but not before a stray bullet strikes the body of Cosmo's assailant. You. Cosmo instinctively climbs down on the doll who's crashed into her, and in the struggle, her blade veers slightly before plunging downward with full force. Oof. Mehdi! Damn it, this is supposed to be a game, so why does it hurt like a bitch? Mehdi collapses like a marionette with its strings cut, her forms dissolving into a scattered fragments of light. Gosh darn, the nearest save point is so far away. Guess I'm not coming back. Vector, I'll be waiting for you in the future. The light completely fades away. Don't just stand there, attack her! Shoot her to bits! At Kluka's sharp command, another hail of bullets rain down on Cosmo. Bullets tear through and riddle her body. As Kluka gives the final order, Cosmo's body gradually breaks apart into small and smaller fragments. Ah! Cosmo's anguished screams fade, and at the same time, the fragments of her body begin to glow. Stop! The doll sees the attack. The broken pieces dissolve, unraveling into delicate threads of light that peel away from Cosmo's remains. The strands unravel faster and faster, until wisps of soft, luminescent blue surge into the air, forming a vast ocean of light above the base. Part of the glowing tide drifts into the distance, while the rest rushes straight toward Vector, flowing into her body. Hey, that's actually some very pretty art. That's really cool. The waves of light flood Vector's mind. She can't help but bend forward, sinking to her knees. In front of her, 4 hands overlap. Following her arms upward, she sees her familiar features begin to take shape on 2 once blank faces. The fragments have returned to their rightful place. My neural data. Vector looks up towards the sky. There is no more trace of Cosmo. The members of Team B rush up to her. Vivi, how do you feel? Did that work? Have you regained your memory? It's okay. We still got the neural backups. Vector breathes in deeply and takes the root sheath in Wellrod's hands. I get everything back. I'm just a bit disoriented. My goodness. Ruchi embraces Vector tightly. Wellrod and Harpsy also look visibly relieved. Does anyone remember there's a second phase in our operation? If you want to fight Frankenstein again, by all means keep the group bonding session going. Oh right, we have more important things to do. Ruchi hastily lets go of Vector. Vivi, I just checked with Wellrod. Even though the helicopter got shot full of holes, it's still functional. Even the autopilot still works. The world of video games sure is miraculous. However miraculous it is, I've had enough of it. Vector holds up the glass container that she's been protecting in her arms. In that case, see you in a bit. No residual anomalous data in the neural module. No data conflicts or losses detected. All modules are operating normally. Right. Okay, Harpsy, you can go ahead and destroy that plugin. Make sure you leave no backup, alright? Sure. Now that the crisis has been averted, can I log off? I've got other stuff to attend to. Go then. The image disappears from the terminal screen. I glance at Mehdi and Vector, who have just climbed out of the repair pods, then I pat Kluka on the shoulder. Don't get too worked up. Just take it easy, yeah? I'll keep it under control. Kluka clears her throat and fixes her gaze firmly on the two dolls. You may now explain yourself. I'm listening. Well, it's as you saw. And what exactly did I see? Don't be nervous. Talk me through it slowly. We have all the time in the world. Would you like a drink to soothe your vocal module? Should I fetch Andres? Don't be like that. If you want to snap or shot at me, just do it. Otherwise, I'll feel like I was still in the virtual world. Besides, you know I can't drink coffee. Are you telling me what to do? No, not at all. I wouldn't dare. I just think I prefer the OG version of Klukai. If memory serves, that would be the one you called Tyrant Klukai. A chuckle slips out, earning me a mildly disapproving glance from Klukai. I was wrong, Klukai. I shouldn't have asked Harpsy to create the plugin without permission. What else? And I shouldn't mix training and games. Klukai, please don't be like this. Klukai tilts her chin up and shoots Mehdi one more sharp, murderous glare before turning to the trembling Harpsy. Just as she's about to speak, Vector interrupts her. If I'd run inside the ship, this wouldn't have happened. As the leader of Team B, I bear full responsibility for this incident. I'll submit a complete review and self-reflection before dawn. Are you planning to take the blame for Harpsy? No, but at the end of the day, this all happened because I failed to discipline my team members properly. This is Team B's management issue. Let me handle it. Luca gazes at Vector, then glances at the members of Team B hanging their heads behind her. Remember to include your proposed solution to the problem in your review. Understood. Mehdi, you're coming to the shooting range with me. The shooting range? At this hour? It's so late. I know it's my punishment. Can't we leave it till tomorrow? Kluka reaches into her pocket and pulls out a small switch. It is compact, with a round button resting right under the fingertip. Mehdi immediately flails her hands in panic. I'm coming, alright? Then I'll be going with Mehdi. Commander, would you like to join us? I understand the meaningful look that Kluka is giving me. She wants Vector to handle Team B's internal affairs on her own. Vector might find it awkward if we stay. At the same time, my instincts tell me this is the moment for Vector to reach a consensus with the team. But can't she really do it? I look at her, both worried and hopeful. At that moment, the still inexperienced team leader meets my gaze and gives me a firm nod. Sure, I'll come too. Well, even the commander will be supervising me. We'll see if you dare slack off again with 2 pairs of eyes watching you. Now let's go. Luca takes the lead, pulling Mehdi out the door. As I walk past Vector, I give her a reassuring pat on the shoulder. She looks up at me with silent understanding. Mixing training and games isn't a bad idea. Actually, exactly. However, you shouldn't rush it out the door and have these issues pop up. Mixing games and training is actually a really good idea. The footsteps in the hallway gradually fade into the distance, and the remaining members of Team B let a collective sigh of relief. I was so scared, I didn't dare speak at all. I'm not surprised you're scaredy cat. Like you ain't any better. You're also staring at your toes and avoiding Klukai's eyes yourself. I was resting my eyes. I seriously wonder how the members of Team A hang out with Klukai on a daily basis. Thank goodness Avivi is so much more approachable. Thank you, Vector, for stepping in when Klukai was about to dress me down. I wouldn't know what to say at all. No, I wasn't trying to defend you. Huh? Even though I sensed that something wasn't right, I didn't insist on putting a stop to it, and your disregard for rules and protocols is all because I did not set a good example. I must take full responsibility for everything that happens. We didn't disregard... Seeing that Walrod still intends to argue the point, Vector cuts off firmly. Disregard is exactly what it is. Vector's gaze does not waver this time. She looks Walrod straight in the eye without any of her usual moroseness? What? Walrod, this is no small matter. Strictly following protocol and abiding by the rules are the foundation of a team's ability to function effectively. But procedures and rules shouldn't be stagnant. Even if they need to be adjusted, the changes must be thoroughly tested. Otherwise, they'll end up like a chandelier crashing down in the middle of battle, hindering the team, or worse, hurting someone. Do you understand, Walrod? An awkward silence fills the training room again. Vector lets out a soft sigh. Then again, maybe using what happened on the battlefield as an analogy isn't very appropriate. In combat, you don't always have the time to react or test a strategy. Sometimes, spontaneous action can turn the tide of battle more effectively than rigidly sticking to a plan. Now that I've been in your position, I realize that when the moment comes, I should rely on my own judgment as well. I shouldn't have been so quick to attribute your actions to a blind desire to score highly, nor should I have rushed to justify my own idea of the best solution. I'm sorry, Walrod. That was my mistake. The egg grows still for a few seconds. As she looks into Vector's apologetic eyes, Walrod slowly speaks. Back at the lab, when you suddenly rushed forward and shattered the culture tanks, it really caught me off guard. Did you ever stop to think whether your riot shield would withstand the impact? Did you know that what was in those tanks? What if we had been knocked over by the liquid too? These questions hit me all at once, and I just got really, really mad. And then I thought, maybe this is exactly how you felt when you saw me shoot down the chandelier. Then when we were discussing the simulation training afterwards, I also didn't take your reasoning and standpoint into consideration. All I cared about was defending my own judgment. As Walrod continues, her face gradually turns red, and her voice grows a little abashed. So, you don't have to take all the blame so eagerly. I'm not. Alright, let me summarize things. Following the plan is important, but adaptability is just as crucial. If that's what we write down as a conclusion, I doubt Kluka will accept it. Then what do we do? Maybe we could approach it like this. From now on, during every after-action review, we add a situational thought exercise. Using the battlefield map from the mission, we analyze it and discuss the potential unexpected actions that each team member might take. But we don't always encounter the same scenarios. The goal of this exercise isn't to rehearse specific scenarios, but to develop a better understanding of each other's tendencies in combat. That way, when someone makes a sudden move in the field, we won't waste valuable time being surprised, or worse, let emotions get in the way. We can't control our ever-changing battlefield, so we have to learn to adapt. Oh, I see. After all, when we're on the battlefield, opportunities wait for no one. Seeing the amusement in Victor's eyes, Walrod raises an eyebrow. I think this is doable, and your paranoia, well, it's not entirely baseless. I also think it's worth a try. Then once my proposed solution gets approved, we can begin our new training sessions. But before that... Harpsy. Yes? Having a name suddenly called, Harpsy jolts, her cattail sticking straight up. You are also required to write a self-reflection. Furthermore, due to a lack of proper respect for rules and the protocols, along with poor judgment, starting now, everyone, including myself, will conduct a full revision of 4-Force Code of Conduct. I expect to see everyone's review and report on the previous training session in my mailbox by dawn. Am I understood? Yes. Looking at the now motivated team, Vector lets out a small sigh of relief. I suppose I did the right thing. Teammates and I finally have consensus. Commander? Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Outside, the night deepens, but the lights in the Elmo's training room remain bright, just like every other night Team B spends hard at work. And yet, tonight feels different. With the mission cut short, Belka returns to her room after signing off, and she flops into bed with a disappointed sigh. Staring at the photo of Kluka stuck to the ceiling, she puffs out her cheeks in frustration. What's up with that client? I was supposed to have at least 72 hours of uninterrupted time with Big Slukai. Now we're back at the base, she's run off to hang out with Mehdi again. Belka throws a few half-hearted punches at the training sandbag, where a picture of Mehdi is taped. Mehdi. The biggest obstacle to my bond with Big Sis. There's a notification on the towel. Mehdi sent her the screenshot. Mehdi sent her the screenshot. Mehdi absolutely fucking sent her the screenshot. Huh? Who's sending me a message at this hour? Oh, this is... In the photos and videos clips on a screen, two figures can be seen leaning closely against each other. Not just anyone, it's Herrn Klukai. I have no idea what this is, but Big Sis Klukai looks so cute making this face. Blanca presses the replay button again and again, watching the clip over and over, completely absorbed. It takes her a while to even remember to check the sender's name. The sender's... Mehdi? What does she mean by this? She hesitates briefly in confusion, but the moment her eyes land on the video again, she can't help but giggle. Who cares? Just for the day, you can be the witness of love and friendship between Big Sis Klukai and me, Mehdi. And that, my friends, is the entire event. That is the entire story. We even got supply tickets out of that. Yippee! Now then, how many gems do I have? Enough? Just barely. That's the wrong button. This is the right button. Will I get another vector? No. I'm not lucky. Anyway. This was GFL's Escape from Cybord event. And I think I shall take a quick, like, 5 to 10 minute break. Don't know why I clicked on that button. And switch games.